The DJ Roundtable Show is live. It's the DJ Roundtable Show. Tell another DJ about the show. Please subscribe.
It is 8 o'clock. It is Tuesday night. You know where DJ's at. I know where I'm at. I'm here with you. It is another DJ Roundtable. As always, I'm surrounded by some great DJs. And I'm surrounded by you. Hopefully, you're watching this and enjoying yourselves and having some fun. Don't forget that we do this on Tuesday nights here on Twitch live. And you want to be part of the live set, you can always come here and, say whatever you want to say, basically. And, be part of critiques, criticism, tomfoolery, or anything else you want to say down below. I always like to read the comments. I see Mikey Mike is here. And
Hey,
Mike said, about dang time I come on. Man, it's like, I got to make sure everything's done right. And I wait for Dwayne. Dwayne was a minute or so. So I'll make sure he gets in here. And that's his partner. Mike is and Dwayne have a show on Thursday nights over on YouTube. They do it for like 2 hours or 3 hours or 6 hours. I'm waiting for the 24-hour shot. But he's not the only one. We also have our friends. Don't forget, Cue It Up on Thursday nights. Before at the same time, they start at the same time, but not end at the same time. Is also Start to Spin, and you also have over there Time to Spin on Monday nights. So make sure you got those 3 channels covered. Make sure you listen to Hunter, and you make sure you're listening to everyone else. As always, on the tubes, it's great to be over there as well. If you're watching us on the tubes, as I always say, do me a favor and hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, the bell icon. And I know poor Jeff, he's dealing with his executive producers keep coming in and out of his office there. So the furry ones, much like my own, comes and bothers and says, hey, what's going on? What's happening? I would say, so
just let everyone know about my show. On March 16th, I will be going live with DJ Reflex. And pretty soon I might have some special guests on my show.
There you go, March 16th. Mark it for your calendars, live on the tubes. A couple of things last week, again, I do apologize. I was very much under the weather. I'm feeling much better now. I actually have 70% of my smell and taste back. I had no taste and smell up until Thursday. So a lot of fun there. A lot of fun being sick, and that's why, last week we didn't get a chance to hang out and talk and chat afterwards, which I was very sad about. But again, I just couldn't do it. I didn't feel well. So I'm feeling better. Hopefully you're feeling good out there. Hopefully Mikey Mike is feeling better. I know he had some stuff going on, so I hope that that's much better. And of course, Chris is with his commentary of the smiley happy faces. That right there is always good. So as Jeff's executive producer, I see walking around back there, making sure that everything's done great by Jeff. Brentley probably has his executive producer in the room with him. You got your producer. Yep, sleeping, relaxed on the couch.
Oh yeah, not anymore. Here she comes.
Oh, there she is. Of course, you gotta say hi to her. If Tulip was here, I'd say, hey, Tulip, but she's out front hanging out with Tracy. So I wanted to ask you guys this. So here's a scenario. Here's something that I'm running into. And, okay, Mike says he's feeling better and can't lift anything over 25 pounds for 3 more weeks. Hey, that's fine. Just take it easy. Want to ask you this one. I had a bride, talked to her last year, 2025. And was talking to her about her wedding in 2028. So 2025, it's a 2028 wedding, which is fine, And she wants to have a meeting. We're going to have a meeting. And the thing that she asks is, what is my price increase going to be for 2028? I am going to have a price increase this year because the fact that, things have gone up, taxes, insurance, so forth, so on. But I wanted to get you guys, and I would hear from each one of you, what you guys would do in that situation. Would you guys just say it's a 10% increase per year? Would you have a dollar amount? Would you say, hey, you signed a contract now, you're locked into my price today, and in 2 years from now, you're still good? Uh, what would you do if someone came to you in your business, said, like Jeff or Chris, I want to hire you for an event 2 years in the future, and I want to know what if you're gonna have a price increase, what it is, and how do you go about figuring it out? So I'm actually going to start with Hunter with this one. If someone came to you and said, "Hey, Hunter, I want to hire you for a gig in 2028," and what would you do? They asked you, what do you do for a price increase? How much a price increase will be?
Well, here's what I would do. I would just say it's the usual 15 hour. I would mostly go by hourly since I'm a solo op, independent, small business, and I don't really do many price increases. I don't want to confuse my customers when I go and DJ for them, saying that, your new prices are too high, or, you know, I have it right there just right at 15 hour, and I'm gonna keep it like that for the rest of my DJ life.
Okay, all right. So you wouldn't give any, you would say no price increase, it's 15
Yeah, yeah,
hour.
no, yeah.
And then do you charge every hour you do work? Because 15 hour, do you charge for all the work you prep
That
beforehand? Do
mm,
you charge for every hour that you set up, every hour you tear down, travel time? Because that's all
no,
work, and you should be in charge. You
actually,
should be
I
paid for the
actually
work you
don't.
do.
I actually don't. I actually charge from the time I get there, and I'm just there, doing my thing, setting up and tearing down and heading back. I don't think travel is part of that. It's just the time of the event is how much they pay me.
And one of the things you need to look at is your time is worth. And your travel, it costs you money to go. It costs, I know you don't drive, but your
No,
father who
my
does drive
yeah.
and takes, your pickup truck, that's fuel, that's gasoline, that's money right there. It's wear and tear in a vehicle and so forth. And that's one of the things you got to think about. If you charge hourly for an event, the let's say a wedding is a 6 hour wedding or a 5 hour wedding, and you're charging just for that 6 or 5 hours. What would the 3 hours beforehand, the hour afterwards, the 3, 4 hours here and there for music, 4 hours for this, an hour for a meeting? What do you do for all that? That's the thing you always got to look at with pricing with hourly. Uh, Hourly rates are always one of the things that, what do you charge? What's an hour? Because if you look at a lawyer charges for everything you do. You send it, you get a hold of a lawyer, you call your lawyer up, say, hey, I want this added to my paperwork. Sure, he will take that item, have you send it to him, and he'll charge you for his secretary or the legal assistant to process it and put it in the rest of your paperwork. And he'll charge you an hour, whatever his hourly rate is or her rate is. If you call them up and ask them questions, they'll answer some basic questions, but if it gets anything elaborate, they're going to charge you for talking on the phone at least 1 hour at $2 or $3 or $4 or $500 per hour. So that's the thing. When you go to hourly rates, it's not a lot of times the best way. The better way is to package it and say, okay, fine, great. My rate for a wedding is X. My rate for a birthday party is Y. That way you have a better, because you can control the time, you control a lot more, and you can actually figure out, hey, what is my cost to actually do this? I'm going to go over to Brentley, who is having a lot of fun with a lot of memes this past week and all the fun stuff he likes to do on Instagram and TikTok and everything like that. We were just talking. He always comes up with some great stuff, and I actually I saw this. I was going to send it to you. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a DJ DJing, and there's a woman who basically has her legs on his shoulder, and she's like hitting in the back of the head with her body. Um, dancing and he's trying to DJ. He's up there and she has her legs and she's like holding herself up like on a I don't know overhead, and she says bumper. I'm like that's gotta be the exact copy what goes on with some of the bars that you do in lacrosse, especially
Oh my
with Code
God.
Blue Cam there and some of the stuff I see
Oh,
on that. Code Blue Cam,
Jesus.
Code Blue Cam on YouTube.
Last Saturday night was one of those nights, actually, that I'm in my DJ booth, and there is a 6 or 8 inch rail in front of the booth that goes around 3 sides of it with a glass plexi window and a subwoofer that the club owns that's right next to the booth. I had to message the GM and be like, can you send me a couple bouncers to clear off all of this? I can't get them down. And it took 3 attempts to get everybody to get down off the rail and off the subwoofer. It was just out of hand. So I deal with that on a nightly basis, which it's actually kind of fun. I'm not going to lie. I mean, to be in a room that is raging like that all the time, the reels are great. The social media content you come up with is phenomenal. And it makes the night go by so fast. It's like I got in the booth. I look up, they're dancing around me. I look back down. I look up again. It's bar time. You lose yourself in it all. It's so nice.
You know, another thing I was thinking about you the other day as well. There was this bar. I can't remember the name of it. It was on Lincoln. And I know that's your area of expertise. That's north side of the city. It was across the way from a tiki bar. And their slogan was, we make Animal House look like an old folks home. And it was like 2 or 3 stories.
I know what bar you're talking about because it's down on the other side of Halsted.
Yeah.
Near DePaul. I know exactly. And my buddy Johnny used to work there. God.
I can't remember the name of it, but I'm like,
I know exactly what bar you're
that Brentley would hang out at and DJ because the shenanigans he talks about.
Oh, one of
you
my
guys don't hear all the shenanigans that happen. That would be the place, and that would be his slogan. We make Animal House look like an old folks home.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah, I know exactly what bar that one of the guys I used to play hockey with worked there. And after some of our games, because we played down at Johnny's Ice House, we would literally be like, oh, it's 15 minutes away from the rink. Let's go. Several bad nights of partying there, to say the least. Oh, I remember that, including, God, a bad memory of somebody I went home with. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for recycling these memories for me. God,
hey, your backyard, man.
No joke. But yeah, what you're saying about pricing, if someone comes up to me, like for a 28 wedding, I've already got a few on the books. And I know even 2 or 3 years out, my pricing won't be that far off one way or another. So I'm more than fine booking a 2028 wedding at whatever price I'm charging and not raising it, not giving them a cost of living increase or anything like that. So what you pay for me now is what you're getting right here and now, and it's good for whenever your wedding is like 28. And I know some people do it hourly, like cool thing like you do, but or some people might do it by different rates and what different ways. But I was watching Alan Berg and redesigned my packages based on some of his current sales strategies, and again, he's pretty spot on. But with these sales strategies and my packages, I'm not scared to sell a couple at a lower rate. And am I raising my prices again? Oh, you're damn right. I told myself this year, because I'm doing the more budget-friendly expo in a month, that I won't raise my prices until after the expo. And I'm not downplaying that it's a budget-friendly expo. The expo itself has a lot of the best, most of the vendors in the area. But sadly, it's a lot of the wedding couples that are either last minute. I need a DJ for June of this year. And I have to refrain myself from laughing at that. But they're also the super low, again, looking for a DJ this year and a super tight budget. And I'm really not aiming for that client or couple anymore, because as everyone knows, all the headaches that go in with it. And if a couple is willing to pay, my my price now, I'm sure that they know 3 years from now at 28 or 2 years from now, cost of living has changed. And all the couples that I have booked 2 or 3 years out usually give me a pretty fat tip at the end of the day, knowing how things have changed over time. So that's another thing. If people are considering it, how they're priced based on, what you were saying, 20, presently or to 28, odds are if you in the higher market at weddings that are paying, 2,000 and up in my area, they throw the money around like it's nothing, basically. So the same thing will go hand in hand with that. They're not going to care a couple $100 one way or another. And you're going to get your tip. I'm sure of it. So float your price the way it is. And when the appropriate time comes, then raise your price. Mine's just waiting for the wedding expo I'm doing in a month to pass before I do it. Partly because I want to sell it. My daughter wants a few more wedding, photo booths. So if I sell a few more of those at the expo with a wedding package, cool.
So, like, one of the things where I printed out, and I'm not going to show because this is my pricing. I always put my price on my website, but what I'm looking at, this is my increases here, which I'm going to add soon. And, again, this is the pricing that I would probably say if I sign a contract for 28, this pricing right here, I'd feel very comfortable with for 2028. So the question to you back is, do I sign the contract for someone saying price right now, lock it in, and I'm way lower? Do I say, hey, my price is going to go up on this date to this and do for that, and then in 2028, just keep it the same? Or, as I was suggested before by someone, that they put in the contract that annually price increases 8 to 12%. And then your rate adjusts at 8 to 12% every year. It goes up. So that would be 2 price increases technically in that time. So which way would you use to sign a contract for now? Or would you say, hey, I got a price increase. Here's my price for 2028. And between now and then, if it goes up, you're locked in? Or do you say, hey, every year is going to go up this percentage. So every year your price can go up that percentage?
Nope. You're locked in now.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. But I know what I'm charging. And relative to my market, as your market's going to be, you're in the Chicago metro market. So there is far more money to throw around there than there is up here. So I know being at the high, I don't want to, sound like a, pompous prick or anything, but I know I'm at the top of the pricing in my market. So lock me in now. We're good when your wedding comes up.
Yeah. Okay. And again, that's the question I had for us for everyone is, and again, Joe just came in. Joe, welcome. I had a customer who I talked to last year, and she wants to have another meeting with us, which is great, no big deal. But she's getting married in 2028, and she asked in the email if you're going to do there's going to be a price increase, and if so, how much? And that's what I was trying to figure out. So that's what I was asking the panel, and Brentley just went first. So I'm going to do another one before I get you, Joe. I'll give you a minute or two so you can formulate a answer, because I want so you can kind of marinate a little bit. I asked Hunter. I asked Brentley. I'm going to actually go to Dwayne and ask Dwayne on his thoughts of this. If someone came to you and said, "Hey, Dwayne, I want to hire you for an event in 2028," what would you do? Would you sign a contract for today's price and stay in the contract that there's going to be a price increase annually? Is there, hey, I'm going to raise my price later on this year. I'm going to charge you that increase, but you won't get an additional increase? Or do I sign the contract today? My price is whatever your price is, that you lock that price in for the next 2 years. And then 2 years when you do that gig, you're getting paid for today's price. And here's another caveat also, as I was told by someone. Can you buy a 2028 Chevy, Cadillac, Buick, Ford, whatever, and pay the price today for that vehicle. And that was one of the things that got me thinking about this. Like, that is very true. I can't go into Ford and say, hey, I want to get the 2028 F-350. And I want to trade my truck in for it. And I want to pay today's price for a 2028 F-350. So I want to go to you, see what your thoughts are on it.
Wherever my price is at the time that they sign the contract and they pay their retainer, that's what I'll honor. Because I can still raise my price. They just don't have to worry about it. So that's how I'll just handle it. Just keep it straight. Wherever the price is that you see on my website and it's advertised, that's what we'll go with.
Okay. All right. And then you just signed a contract for today, and that's a price, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, Chris, what's your 2 cents?
Yeah. So this is a kind of a double-edged sword. I mean, we don't know what type of event it is. Weddings, you most certainly can book a year, 2 years in advance. But a lot of events that I've been doing are always last minute. So for something that's 2 years, I mean, there are years I don't increase my price, and there are years I did increase my price. So it's hard to say, am I going to increase my price in the next 2 years, especially with this current state of what's going on? It's hard to say, but I will put a stipulation that I would probably say, if you want your event confirmed and booked and you want this year's price, I need it today, the full amount. All right. That way, you don't have to ever worry about it, because now I have the money now. And what I choose to do with that money, as long as I'm going to hold your date, unless, of course, in the contract that there is a change date clause. If she changes her date up to a certain amount of time frame down the line, gets closer, she's going to have to pay that change the date fee, and she will probably have to end up rebooking if it's so much further out or so much earlier. It will justify a price change, in the contract. So
Okay.
contracts will be honored, so that's the way I would probably handle that. If you really want to save the money and, you definitely want me to be your DJ, I will absolutely give you today's price for your event 2 years. But the second you want to change something, because you are in the breach of the current contract, then you're going to have to pay a fee or a price change or date change, whatever it is that you're looking to do. And it may end up you'll have to pay the difference from 2 years ago to your current wedding pricing.
Okay. So I want to go back to Dwayne for a second here. Dwayne, do you have in your clause in your contract that if a customer changes the date, there may be a fee associated with that, or you just change the date without charging a fee? Because if someone changes the date for me, it's just basically some simple paperwork. I don't charge a fee for that, and Tracy and I were like, it takes a few seconds to change a date, but
you may be already booked.
I just ran into that. I just ran into that for another person and I refunded their deposit.
Yeah.
So I'm already booked on the date they changed from this year to next year. So I lost the wedding, and I'm already booked. So I sent her a check back for her deposit because I didn't earn that money. So Dwayne, do you have anything in your contract, or?
I don't know. I gotta look at it. If it's one of those things where they're gonna be changing the date, it's almost like you're doing a whole new contract. So it's almost like you're doing the whole new thing again.
Exactly. That's my concept with that. You're gonna be telling me to hold the date, which I can't book someone else on, so I'm holding that for you. And now you want to come a year later and say, "Oh, we need to change the date." Now I've held that date for somebody, or 6 months prior to your wedding. Wait a minute, I could have booked that with someone else. Now even though I have yours open, I may not be able to book it.
Right. And then it also depends on how much money they put down too, because it could be one of those things where if they paid for this date and they got to cancel, the trade-off might be, if I'm open, that wherever you pay will go towards your new date. So
2 years is a long time to behold, because you don't know if something happens in that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
well,
sure
again, 2028. I know Brentley said he's got a couple 2028. Who else
Oh,
here
yeah.
has 2028 bookings? Anybody else? Okay.
I don't,
I,
I don't even have 2027 yet.
I got a bunch of 2027 already.
I'm
I
I'm
don't.
2/3 done with my year for 27.
Wow.
And for this year, I have one Saturday I could legitimately feel comfortable parting with and not screw up my club residencies. Couple that with maybe 6 or 7 Sundays I'm willing to part with, and that's it.
Well, you have to know that I'm a DJ who doesn't get booked a whole lot, so I have to focus on one day at a time and see what happens.
Oh, I get that. I mean, when we all started, independently, each one of us had to figure it out and get our own gigs. And knock on wood, I just happened to be, when I went back into DJing full time, at the right place at the right time. Nothing that I don't think it was truly that I'm any greater than any of the other DJs in my market necessarily. Or at that time, I definitely wasn't. But finding what I needed to do to get my bookings up and how I needed to market myself, when those went hand in hand together, thank you to Midwest DJs Live, Mobile Entertainment Expo, and Mitch Taylor, that gave me a whole plethora of information and knowledge to work with to drive my marketing to get sales.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
ready.
Okay, Joe, go ahead. Go. Joe wants to jump in.
I'm sorry. I had a meeting and they canceled, but then they said we're going to go ahead and do it at 7:15. So I'm going to be here for a little bit. But my 2 cents is basically COVID was a training ground for gigs shifting to a later date. So basically, what you booked, say for 2020, all of a sudden got pushed to 21 or 22. And again, it was a training in our aspect to basically adjust our contract and say, look, if we're available, we'll go ahead and do your event. We'll honor the new date. However, if not, then we can't. The other thing that I always ask, I said, well, look, I would love to keep the price the same 2 or 3 years, but look at it from a cost of living and how expensive. Would you want to be paid the same now, 3 years from now, or would you want your employer to adjust the cost of living for you to be able to pay your bills accordingly? Because everything's going up: gas, rent, food, yada, yada, yada. And in order to stay in business, you have to adjust yourself in marketing, right? So my answer to that question would be, look, I will honor a certain amount. You have to give me 50%, first of all. If the date changes for some reason or other and I'm available, I will honor it. I can do it. If not, we'll work out a deal. I'll adjust my rate accordingly to the cost of living. So if the cost of living went up 10%, I'll adjust it accordingly. I won't try to gouge you for any more money or less, because it's at the end of the day, it's a business that we're running. We're not doing it as a hobby.
Yeah.
That's basically the bottom line. Because again, you do your cost analysis. Hey, it costs me $1,000 to drive out that door and set up. And a lot of it is based on how much do I want to make a month or a year. So that's how you kind of make your pricing, because you say, you know what, I want to make 200,000 this year. So you adjust your pricing to meet that mark, right? So you might have to do more events, or you can do less events for more money. It just depends on what you want, how hard and how much you want to work. So it's different for everyone. Somebody might say, hey, I just want to make 50,000 extra this year, help me pay my bills. And they're good with charging a certain amount, where somebody might have a lot of overhead. They got to pay for rent, storage space. If they bought equipment, they have to, figure that out, because a lot of times, you buy a brand new vehicle, you have to put it in your pricing. You can't just say, okay, I'm just going to buy it just for the heck of it. So it really has to depend on the cost of living and how you price yourself. But to answer your question, I would be transparent with the client and say, look, bottom line is I'm going to adjust the price according to the cost of living. You know, I don't want to lie to you. I just want to be transparent and as honest as I can possibly be.
But generally, usually cost of living, it's usually 2 or 3%, sometimes 4%. That's generally
Right.
what you see per year. Because when you get a increase in pay, most in companies, when they give a pay increase, it's like 3.25, 3%, 2.5%. That's
Mhm.
generally like a lot of companies do. So if you're making $100,000, you get a couple extra $100 for a cost of living adjustment over a year. Uh, I'm just throwing numbers out there, some round numbers
But
around that.
again, if you go to pay, if the price of gas went up from $4 to $6 a gallon, you have to make that, you know, adjustment, right? But it's basically just getting back to the client, hey, look, I got to stay in business and this is how much I need to charge. But if you're looking to book the event and get that deposit and work out the details later, that's really up to you. But if you say, this is my fixed price, I'm going to charge this amount of money for the next 3 years, it doesn't matter. That's how you run your business.
So you would basically have in the contract saying that every year there's going to be a slight increase for cost of living adjustment in that
And
price. If you
anything
sign
else
the
that,
price
that goes
today,
with it.
because it's so far
Right.
out, it would be an adjusted price then.
Right.
That's just it. 1 year, the cost of living could be only 1%, and then the next year it could be 12%. So you really can't
It's always variable.
give them drugs.
Again, when I
It's
when I
variable.
dealt with when I worked in the corporate world, it was always they did averages over so many period of time for when you do pay increases. And even an
Right.
hourly employee, I never understood this, why it's a percentage. You're paying someone $10 an hour or $12 an hour, whatever the hourly rate is, and you're gonna give them a 3.2% pay increase. That's merely pennies versus saying, hey, when you're that low and it's hourly, I'd say, hey, here's an extra dollar. It's the percentage point doesn't always work well if you're being paid
Mhm.
fairly well. Again, depending on the market, 100,000, 150, 200,000, whatever the market is, because every market is different. A well-paying job of 60,000 in one market is a low-paying job in another market. Like in Joe's area in California, $60,000 is nothing. You know, a
Right.
small house is $2 million versus my area, $60,000 would be okay. Not
Mhm.
great, it'd be okay amount of money. You could have an apartment, you could have some stuff, but it wouldn't be great. In Cool Things area, $60,000 is like, hey, you're doing actually very well. So it's all relative to the area, but someone who's making, a decent amount of money, a percentage increase always looks okay. But hourly, I always felt that should be more. So
You know
you're
what,
you're
buddy?
But
adjustable.
again, you're letting them know that the price is going to change.
Okay.
You're not going to keep it the same. It's just, you know, that's
So
I'm,
you
part.
and
I'm,
Chris both
I'm,
are adjustable. Dwayne is
I'm,
signed for today.
I'm
Brentley is
personally.
also adjustable too. Hunter is say whatever he charges, he says not going to have any increases. Um, the last one I got asked now is Jeff. Jeff, again, he has his business as well, and he has a lot of experience. What would you do for in your situation if someone came to you, Jeff, and said, "Hey, 2028, I want you to do whatever the event is."
I would honor the price that I'm advertising and I would give them that price and I'd be fine with it. I would raise
Okay.
my prices when I feel like I need to raise my prices. I think you start going out more than 2 years, then you start, start getting into a different game there. But yeah, for the next year and even up to two, sure, I will lock them in whatever price I'm advertising at the moment, and I'll let them know, just like somebody else said, they're getting a good deal, and maybe they can throw a tip my way the night of the wedding. So that's how I run my business.
You know what, buddy? Just as I was, saying that they're going to tip you and all that, a wedding I just booked 2 years ago. It's in end of the month. Just tip me $1,000.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
I mean, and this is the other point I wanted to, throw out there. If you're charging more, the people that have the money to throw around will tip you, and they tip you very well. I won't. My average tip this year has been between 500 and 1,000 at almost every wedding.
What are you doing? I want to know.
Here,
people in my area don't even.
The one thing I'm going to say, if you get the chance, take Marbecca, take Bill Herman's entertainment experience. These are the courses that, and I didn't get Marbecca. I got Mitch Taylor's version, basically Mitch Taylor, and a very one-on-one in-depth training with him as to how I MC, how I approach the room. And I don't videotape all of that on my wedding logs. That's stuff that he's taught me that I'm not quite willing to give up to the rest of the guys in my market who watch my channel all the time. But and Bill Herman has even said, if you're getting tips like this and booking Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday weddings, you probably don't need my class. I'm going to take it anyway. But these classes change the mindset that I approach a wedding to, and how I being as authentic and as real as one of the people that are their guests. So when you're the DJ and how you address everyone, from your introduction of yourself and what we're about to do, to how your guest interactions are throughout the course of the entire day, if you can nail that, people are more than willing to throw money at you. This wedding, and the wedding that gave me the big tip, I've already seen them a few times in downtown La Crosse in the last couple months. So we've already talked. We see each other fairly regularly. They want what I do there, but they know I'm going to produce what they want, so they're sending me the tip in advance, which puts you even under more pressure to be absolutely perfect, flawless. Nothing, you can do nothing wrong. And once you've gotten to that point, the money flows in.
Well, unfortunately, Brantley, you are human. It's mistakes that they won't notice. It's stuff that, we all, something there, but you keep it to a minimum, and you do try your best, and people appreciate that. And that's one of the things also, is that when you price yourself in such a way, you don't go after a market of people racing for the bottom. Yeah, you do have better time with tips, and you do have a better time when people don't mind putting that money out. And it's a huge thing when you're trying to go for that, because it's hard going from a mindset of, hey, I want to only charge X amount of dollars. All these other guys are cheaper than me. There's always going to be someone cheaper. If you had to put your mindset in that, you look at Walmart and you look at Target. Both of them are discounters. Walmart will outsell Target 5-1 every day and be cheaper than Target. But Target's still packed. Target still has business. Why is that? Because they offer a little bit better product. They offer a little more premium service. They offer something a little bit different than Walmart. Walmart, you're going there as a discounter. You look at Costco versus Walmart or Sam's Club. Costco is going to be busier than a Sam's Club because of the fact that the prices are both really super low. Costco gives a little bit more than Sam's Club.
Go to Target so I don't have to look at the Walmartians.
Here,
there you go.
The one thing I've taken from Bill Herman's most recent, lectures online, each one of those vendors or stores, just like as a wedding vendor, you need to show up differently. Everybody has their niche. And like, being able to pull tips like I am, it's because I do things differently than the atypical DJ in my market. And thank God, knock on wood, whatever, none of them are humble enough to want to go to a DJ conference to learn. So as I keep increasing my revenue by, price point and offerings, they're still stuck. I can't crack $1,000. I can't get any higher than $1,200. But and as Mitch Taylor would put it, the tools in your toolbox aren't there for you to achieve that. So knock on wood, no one's followed suit with me and done what I've done here. So I'm kind of able to float in this market and do my thing and make a living at it.
And that's
if
one of the
other
things,
DJs start catching on, it might change a little.
that's one of the things I know you do apparently, and Dwayne and I've talked about this, and I've talked about this with other people, is when you do if you do a wedding show, if you do anything like that, it's not, people don't come there and they care about your mix so much. They don't care about the music you're playing. They care about how you're going to make their wedding different than someone else's wedding. How are you different than DJ down the street? How are you going to make them the focal point of that day? And that's why I think a lot of DJs miss that. And they focus on, hey, look how cool I can do this trick here with music. Hey, that's fine. That's cool and stuff like that. But if you don't have the nice, clean setup, if you don't have the professional, appearance, if you don't have the professional manner, and you don't understand that, make it about the couple and how can you be different than all the other DJs in your area, you're basically, your voice doesn't go anywhere. But if you get yourself known as the DJ who does this DJ, like we're known, Tracy and I are known more of the technicals, because we can do a lot of things other DJs can't do with multiple subs and multiple areas and do multiple things and have this cool look. And I don't mind having that feel to it because it shows that I'm different from some of the other DJs. Now, you can charge whatever they want to charge. You have to charge what you feel is best for you. I'm not saying you should go out tomorrow and double your price automatically, but you should also look at how do I improve myself and how can I increase more. Again, you're talking about $1,000 tip. Tracy and I have gotten some $300, $400, $500 tips from customers because of the amount of work we put into an event. And, tips are never guaranteed. Tips, there's been plenty of times you'll get a tip. People, that's it. Fine, great, no problem. No ill will. Tips are designed to make you do your best. We always try our best for every single couple. We never ask for anything. When we get something, we're always graceful and humble. But the thing is that you should always look at what you're doing and what you're putting out there. And then I got some
buddy,
comments
you made a
here.
great point.
Adrian E said no bookings for 2028. Another one, I don't like taking 2 years in advance because I don't know if I'm going to be alive by then.
Buddy, you made a great point a minute ago about when you're at an expo and you're not, and this is what every DJ that I paid attention to at the last expo does wrong. They're trying to sell. Everyone is trying to hard sell at the expo. And the best point you made is, what can you do differently? And one of the couples that booked me from the last expo I did said, you are the only DJ that had a personality, that wasn't trying to pitch us, that was trying to talk to us and find out what we're looking for. And taking what Bill Herman preaches, show up differently, because they're going to see 4 other DJs. Hey, this is what I can do. This is my setup. Your setup only truly matters if it looks like absolute crap, or if you're selling premium packages and setups. The middle of the road company DJ, they're wanting to know what you can do for their wedding and what kind of person you're going to be to interact with. Are you going to be some stiff behind your booth, or are you going to be the cheesy John Lovitz wedding singer who gets out there and dances with the crowd and sings on the mic? Or are you going to be the guy that guides them through the day peacefully, calmly, in a stress-free manner, and creates the party they want? That's the biggest concern of every couple that's going to a wedding show. And not getting and having somebody not sell them is something they're looking for. They just want to talk. They're people like you and me.
Has anybody invested in any of the Ellenberg seminars or books?
Oh, yeah.
I would recommend Shut Up and Sell. If you don't have that.
Not only have I read both his books, or a few of his books, I watch his podcast religiously every time it comes out. And I won't lie, there's times I will rewatch some of his podcasts or go back to some of them from like 2 years ago when he was really on the marketing to millennials, because that's even proving more and more relevant today than it did 2 years ago. Or it's continuing and getting to be a bigger selling point. And, like how we might talk, on different DJ pages, joke about the DJs who aren't coming up to the times. But truth be told, those DJs who are sitting at, not educating themselves and stagnant and only have been doing the same thing for 20, 30 years, their time is coming where they're going to get phased out for the younger DJ who attracts the younger couple. Yes, there'll still be some that are there geared towards older couples, but as our generations are changing, weddings are changing, what couples want are changing, and I can never see it going back to weddings wanting the cheesy 1980s John Lovitz character from The Wedding Singer. I could never see that happening again. Call me crazy.
And you can see the kind of DJ I'm going to be. Yeah.
Again, everyone has a different selling point, and everyone has a different way of selling. And it's one of the things that Joe and Bradley both are hitting on the nail on the head. Is you have to understand what drives the market and what drives these couples and what the purchase. And again, I've been doing that for a long time, is not trying to sell myself, explain how we do things differently and how we go through. And one of the things I will tell you this, I ask this at wedding shows all the time. I want to talk to a couple how detailed we get into. Are you doing a formal seeing of the mothers? And I've said this before, 90% of the couples have no idea what that is. And that's one of the things that we understand. We speak wedding. We do this every weekend. That's one of the questions we ask them to custom build this whole entire field for their wedding. And that's why I use Vibo. That's why I use certain things. I know Dwayne uses Vibo. It's to get that build so you could custom build something for that couple. That's what separates you from the other DJs. And I've seen that. I've seen the same exact thing you're talking about, Bradley. The guys over there saying, hey, look, I'm the best DJ ever. I can out DJ any DJ here. Look at me. I can do these crazy cool mixes. The dance floor, look at my music. Look at what I did here. That's great. I wanted to showcase people dancing. That's part of the deal. That's part of the night. That's the celebration side. All the stuff before you hit that end, all the formalities and all the organization and all the time management, that is the other part that when you're doing an event like a quinceanera, a wedding, a bar mitzvah, a bar mitzvah, a corporate event, time management is very important in that area as well. If you're doing a school dance, again, Jeff does a lot of school dances. He could tell you how much prep he does for that, how much time management he does with that. But how much he does to a wedding it's totally different. And understanding what you need to do for that event makes you the expert in that field, in that area. And that's one of the things you communicate to a customer. What you know and what you understand is huge. Just like Chris, he can go through and walk through with a client. It doesn't matter if he's DJing and doing DJ and his bubble, and he's doing DJ bubble and he's doing his miniature golf. All three of those, he can explain why he's different from DJ down the street. And that's one of the things we try to do on the show, is to help you guys understand that you're empowered. You have the power to do what's best for your business. We're not telling you what to do for your business. We're just trying to give you some tools to help you with your business. And, sometimes some people say I do get a little preachy. It's because of the fact that I'm very passionate, and I see a lot of guys out there and a lot of girls out there that go out there and do stuff, and it's like they're spinning their wheels. And it's like, you don't have to do anything crazy. You don't have to do anything hard. And again, I've done this over years, and it's taken a long time to understand where I'm at now. Do I know everything? No, I don't. I'm human. That's why I ask these guys questions. And that's why this right here was kind of a stumbling point with a customer asking me, what would I do in 2 years? And I got different answers from a few different people. So now I have to look at, which way do I want to go? And again, I appreciate their input because it helps me make an informed, intelligent decision. At the end of the day, it's your business. You have to do what you feel is best. I want to get into some more comments here. one of the things New Picard Kevin said, what is Brenly doing with all those trash cans? If you don't know that, he likes to take pictures of himself
It's a
near
tribute.
trash cans.
It's tribute to a god-awful wedding venue. I won't call the venue out, but if you look at my gig logs, you'll find it. And this wedding venue was so god-awful. The owner is running around in cut-off jean shorts and flip-flops before the ceremony. But that's not the worst of it, actually. The worst of the entire venue was, do you know the big work site, construction site garbage cans, like 60-gallon ones? They had them all over the venue, including on either side of the ceremony wall where the altar was. So in every one of the couple's pictures, there's a trash can on either side of the wedding party. Gets a little bit better now. He decided that he had to put his 60-gallon trash can next to my completely white setup.
Oh, dang.
Oh, it gets better though. It really does.
What
because
spilled? Was it the gravy or was it the red sauce?
Oh, the caterers, they also showed up in flip-flops, dropped the food off, and left. It's a free-for-all. The venue manager said it was okay to put the cupcakes and cake out at 12 noon.
In the middle of heat in the summer?
Ding, ding, ding. And not to mention, and I abstained from eating the entire day when I saw how the cupcakes were getting handled, because there's cows and cow manure 20 feet away from the other side of the catering wall. Oh, we're not done yet, though. We're still not done yet. So I called this venue up and advanced the wedding with them. And I was told that there would be
Joe. See you later.
Space, all this other stuff. And when I come out to find, I have one outlet that's not paired off. They don't know what ampage the breaker is. So I stripped down my entire setup. Well, even better, the couple and I had to have a conversation. I'm like, they're not giving me the space I need or the power to bring all the lights that you want in. So you're getting up lights, you're getting dance lights. But if you want me to change that, you need to talk to this wonderful owner. And they're like, just leave it as it is. We've already dealt with him enough today. So they were already at the wit's end of him. At the end of the night, I'm trying to load out. And the owner, I've pushed the garbage can out of my way. The owner intentionally puts it right in front of me again as I'm trying to walk my equipment out. Oh, no, I kicked it at him and said, get some nice language. And my now ex-girlfriend was there. She's like, don't. I'm like, and I start screaming. I'm like, you want to keep going with this, dude? Come on. She's videotaping. Take a swing at me. Start with me. And the venue owner walks out of the room, and that was how we left it. But I made sure to kick the garbage everywhere as I was loading out. And there were, leftover sandwiches from the barbecue that night. Oh, yeah, it was disgusting.
So the question is, did he have the little, basically a little trolley underneath it with the little wheels that those containers sit on to wheel them around? No?
No.
Because I've seen a couple places, not venues, not wedding venues. When I worked in retail and worked in businesses, you get the roughneck garbage cans, the plastic big brown garbage cans,
and they have the 6-wheel little circles under them.
Yep, they have the little trolley, or you could say a little cart. They can sit them on, and you can roll it around, and it's great for cleaning, and you can move it around very quickly. But that would have been in winter. And here's the only nice thing about having the garbage can next to your booth. Maybe, just maybe, less than likely someone trying to put their drink on your equipment. Just a little bit. But do I want a garbage can next to my booth? No.
when they missed
the problem with that, buddy. They will not put it in the garbage can. They will actually throw it and miss and hit the rim, and then
one of my scrims
all over your gear.
One of my scrims at that wedding, I scrubbed it out. because I wasn't. It was the end of the season. I had 2 weddings left. I wasn't about to order a whole new set of white scrims from Amazon. So I literally took the thing home and scrubbed the out of it. But yeah, and it's even funny now, like you've seen on the page, other DJs who have been offered weddings there will not go there now. It's awesome.
I don't know where Matt's at tonight. I don't know where Matt is. You know, again, I tend to invite everyone.
Matt.
Whoever shows up, but who showed up to the end, who always likes to come at the end, is DJ Fire.
Yeah.
What's going on, Nathan?
Let's put some fires out.
I'm pretty good. Just been sleeping.
Are you sick?
No, I just had a long day. Long day.
I hear that.
What was I out for 10 hours straight shooting drone footage of a plumbing company putting in a 8-inch sewer line.
Oh, okay.
Sounds fun. Service. Someone getting new service.
No, someone had old Orangeburg service, and that Orangeburg service is no longer in service.
Yeah.
Put it that way. The Orangeburg sewer has left the building.
8-inch. That's not huge. 8-inch is usually.
It's huge for here because most of the stuff is only 4-inch.
Wow,
So.
I've seen 8-inch water mains.
We had a don't get me started. There was lines that wasn't located. We don't even know what some of the stuff they dug up was. There was 1, 2, it was like, what was there, six different fiber optic cables, all within a few inches of each other. So that took time to hand dig around all those. And yeah, it was a mess.
Fun. So I'm going to ask you this. I have asked the panel tonight, and I got some really great answers. I don't know if you heard earlier. I have a customer who is looking at. We got to talk to them again. I talked to her last year in 2025. She wants another meeting, and she's getting married in 2028. And the question is that. What would be my price increase into 2028? I've heard a few different things from different DJs, and I wanted to know, how would you approach that? How would you handle that? And I've heard people say, sign a contract for today. Today's price will lock you in. In 2028, we'll honor that price. I've had a couple of people say, no, you should put in at, every year it goes up annually, X amount of percentage point, or it's a certain dollar amount, whatever dollar amount I'm charging in 2028 is what your contract would go to. So how would you handle that?
Well, turn on this lamp here so y'all can see me better. I would probably
Jeff had go.
depends. Either do what?
Jeff had go.
Oh, okay. I would either probably, I don't know, is either tell them to lock it in now with the rates that I have now, or I would say, why don't you wait until we get a little closer, get a hold of me maybe end of year or early, late 2027. Let me know, kind of what you're thinking. I can let you know what I'm thinking for pricing. Just in case something happens and you guys don't actually decide to get married, or you guys split up, or, you decide to go a different route. There ain't no sense of, putting money on something when you don't know. 2028's 3 years from now.
2 years. You're 2026.
Well, the wedding could be 8 months into the year. So
yeah, that's kind of what I'm going with. Yeah. So it technically could be 3 years from now.
Almost 3 years. So.
Yeah. 2026, 2027, 2027 to 2028, and 2028 into 8 or 9 months, 10 months, 11 months into the year. So yeah, basically a third year. But, I wouldn't book anything out that far. I'd be like, yeah, if you guys want to throw away a deposit that's non-refundable, I'm cool with it. But I would tell you to save your deposit and wait until you get closer
Hello,
to make sure
Bradley.
you're for sure.
All right. See ya.
Okay, that right there gives you some answers. And again, we're losing everyone because they've come up onto the hour. So we started 2 minutes after 9 o'clock. I give you an hour for the show. I appreciate everyone's input, especially it's interesting. And again, this is something that I'm perplexed with, and that's why I'm like, oh, okay, how do I go out doing this? So again, if you're watching this on YouTube, put it down there, comments down below. How would you handle that? And what would you do? Would you sign a contract for today?
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
So I just remembered, this has actually happened to me. So I had a couple that I met at a church that I started going to here in town, and it was the home church. I met them through DJing the special needs prom that I did over there, and they contacted me about DJing their wedding, and they paid their deposit, and it was almost 2 years from the day they booked me. It was like 1 year and 8.5 months later. So I was like, I mean, if you guys want to go ahead and book now, that's fine. They're like, yeah, we just kind of want to get it taken care of. We want to go ahead and pay in full. I said, oh, okay, that's fine. They picked their package and all that. And then, when was it? It was the year of, so it was the year after, or the year of the wedding. I think it was probably, I want to say 4 to 5 months before the wedding. And the pastor of the church called me and told me that the bride and the groom had split up and were no longer getting married. And I said, oh, that's terrible. And I was like, well, the bride could have called me, or the groom. And they're like, well, she didn't want to hurt your feelings and was worried that she was going to upset you. And I was like, I'm not upset. I'm sorry that things didn't work out for them. But, and I said, I would, refund at least half of their, money back, just to be nice to her. And she said, no, she wanted me to tell you that you can keep all the money. She's not worried about getting any money back. She just thanks you for your time, and she will use you for further,
future endeavors.
Yeah, basically, if she ever needs another DJ. And I said, well, if she ever gets married again, I will grant her that cost. And I mean, I'm sure my prices will be a little bit more. She may have to pay the difference, but if she ever gets married again, then we can work something out.
Always have an unengagement party with you.
Yeah,
there you go. Go
celebrating a being signal.
It always be something.
Get this. Yeah, get this. A couple of couples I DJ back in 2021, after a year after their wedding, they broke up.
Unfortunately, happens. It's sad.
Yeah,
I always wish every couple many happy years ahead.
Yeah.
So
she dated a guy in the church, and they actually just got married last year, but they got married in a different state. So
no, wait a minute. No, that wasn't the pastor, was it?
No, it was,
all right. We'll keep it at that. So we're gonna get out of here tonight. I'm actually gonna have Hunter take us out tonight. Hunter, go ahead, say goodnight to everyone.
Thank you all so much for watching this episode of the DJ Roundtable. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
Good night, everyone.